All right, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Wrenching with Marcus. All right, everybody. So this is my first video today. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be trying to put this motor in this car here, my '09 G8. This motor right here is a Texas Speed 5.3 sleeved and bored out to a 427. Should be making around 1,000 horse. I'm gonna be putting a supercharger on it. It's gonna be coming soon in January. I might be doing the 2650, but the guys that are gonna be helping me out with this are developing something new, so we might have something bigger coming soon. So we don't know yet, but we're gonna mess around and see. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the things that I did to this motor before it ended up the way it is now. I ended up painting it and I Scotch-Brighted the block all the way. I only painted the block and the covers and the oil pan and the bracketry and stuff. I wanted it to look aesthetically appropriate. So I did all that, and I used VHT engine metallic. You can find this at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, your local auto parts store. They usually carry it. And the injectors I decided to run are FIC 1200cc injectors. And these guys, I hope these guys are going to be big enough for what I'm going to be doing with this thing running E85. We might be cutting it close, but we'll see. We won't know until we throw it on the dyno. And another thing I just wanted to touch on for any of y'all out there, I've recently kind of came across this. Any of y'all out there that have your own AN lines and fittings and stuff, if you don't have any wrenches for these, I suggest you get some, because what they'll do is they keep them from getting scratched up from using like a Kentucky fit-all or inch and like an eighth or inch and a quarter sock wrench, and these right here just take care of them a lot better, and they look like you haven't ever put a wrench on them. That's how they're supposed to look. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into putting flywheel, bolting it up and torquing it up. All right, y'all. So what we got going on here, I went and got some ARP flywheel bolts. What I'm doing before I put these on, I'm putting some ARP lubricant just on the head of the bolt, not on the threads. And then I'm taking a dab of blue Loctite. I'm putting them on there. Just a little bit, not a lot. And I thread them in by hand just to make sure it gets started. Don't want to cross thread a brand new crankshaft. And then we just run them in. And then we'll torque them down to 74 foot-pounds in a cross pattern. And be good to go. So now we're gonna go ahead and torque the flywheel bolts down to 74 foot-pounds. See right there, 74 foot-pounds. And what I'm gonna do just for my own consideration, I'm gonna go up a foot-pound just because I want to. Go up 1 foot-pound. You do well. That's it. Now we're ready to go ahead and put the torque converter and the transmission and bolt the transmission up to the engine. Alrighty guys, so what I've got is my Circle D torque converter, and I already went and filled the converter. I'll put a video in there. You guys already see a video. I'll put it in there to be a fast little clip of me filling up the torque converter, showing you guys how I filled the torque converter. And if you do the same, if you haven't done it before, I'll show you how to fill up the torque converter in that video. So right now I'm going to show you how to put the transmission and the torque converter together. You got to make sure you get the pump lined up right with these teeth right here. You can't see it, but you have to keep spinning it around until it's fully engaged. If you don't fully engage it, you can mess up your pump inside your transmission, which isn't good. Now the torque converter is installed into the transmission. We're ready to bolt the transmission to the engine. Alrighty, y'all. So now, as you can see, the transmission is connected to the engine. The bolts aren't tightened down yet, but we're gonna go ahead and tighten them down. And I'm gonna torque them to a certain spec. Let's go ahead and do it. Alrighty, y'all. So what we're doing next, now that the engine's torqued and bolted to the transmission, what we're gonna do now is go ahead and take care of the torque converter bolts. Show you guys how we do that. So what we gotta do, depending on the situation, you might need a buddy or a friend to have a wrench on the crankshaft. But what we're gonna do here, you want to make sure you line your torque converter hole up to the flywheel. And what I'm going to do is, since it's already lined up, I'm going to go ahead and get one in there so that our next guy is going to be lined up. And before we put the bolt in, we're going to go ahead and put some medium strength blue Loctite on there. We're going to go ahead and throw that on there. And we're gonna hit them all with 50 foot-pounds. Let's do it. You don't want to tighten the first one all the way. You can distort the plate. So you just move to the next one. And then you tighten them all. It's a long process, but it's worth it. And that's the 6th bolt. A lot of you guys out there are gonna have less bolts, but with this one being a high horsepower motor, we've decided to do 6. Next, we'll go ahead and torque the converter bolts down. All right, y'all. Now it's time to torque the torque converter bolts to 50 foot-pounds. So let's go ahead and get that going. I might have to hold back on that wrench. But let's see what happens. And there we go. Now we just keep on going. Alrighty, we made it all the way around, y'all. Time to put the motor in there. And that's the end of the first video, everybody. I hope you guys liked it. I know there's a little bit of complication. There might be a finger that got in the way in the camera along the way. We're still using my phone right now, so we're trying to work everything out, and I'm trying to get everything correct. I hope I didn't mess up the camera angle or anything like that, but in the future videos, I will have this right. I've got some more help coming soon to help me out with this. I've reached out to some people and they're gonna help me out. But the next video, y'all will be seeing me put the motor in my car and what the end looks like, what the finished product will be. So I appreciate everybody that's watching. Share with your friends. If you got any suggestions for anything that you want to see me do, as far as like showing you guys and girls how to do stuff, let me know. Don't be afraid to ask. I'm an open book when it comes to cars. So y'all have a good one, and everybody stay blessed and stay safe.